Hi, I'm Mike and I'm very much a child of the 80s. Now, as my videos have been increasing, I've been doing more and more. I've been really enjoying it, been really enjoying talking to you guys in the comments and getting messages and saying, oh, I remember that and all that sort of stuff. So that's been really nice, so thanks for that. I found that there's a bit of a delay in my editing because of the medium I'm using is a mobile phone. Now the phone does really well, I'm speaking to you on it right now, but the download takes too long because there's so much stuff on my phone, family photos and music and all that sort of stuff, that the download takes too long. I'm also wandering around with a mobile phone that is online, if you like, so at any point I could be disturbed with a phone call or an email or whatever, and luckily, touch wood, that's never ever happened, and it never really crossed my mind that it could until quite recently. So I thought I'd invest in a new camera. Now a friend of mine I got chatting to, and he said, oh, I've got this GoPro if you want to try that. Now GoPros I always think of being for sort of mountain bikers and people that are really active and jumping off cliffs and into volcanoes and stuff like that, and I didn't think it would be really suitable for what I wanted to use it for, but it turns out they are quite versatile things and they're quite good cameras. So he said feel free to use that, I don't use it anymore, give it a go. So he's given me this massive setup that I've got here that's got loads of strange sticks and strange things that I assume make some sort of tripod, and a little thing that I think I really like this. It sort of tells you how charged up the batteries are. I think that's quite good. So all these things, so give it a go, see what you think. And the camera in question is a little GoPro Black 9. So the following video is basically me wandering around Fox's Wood or Stainsby Wood or whatever you know it as in Acklam, messing about with a couple of settings, trying to figure out if this thing's going to work. I witter on because I'm trying to get an idea of volume level. I stop and change the settings and things like that, basically just to see how it looks. Let's see how I got on. Okay, so this is a trial of the GoPro Hero Black 9 thing. Just checking to see how it works. Standard setting. Over to Foxy's Wood, over a little metal bridge, and so we do. In time for the sun setting by the look of it. It is a very cold January evening. It's about 4 o'clock at the minute. As you can see, the grass is a little frozen, which I'm hoping bodes well for this journey so I don't get all muddy. Now switch to the activity setting, see what that does. See there, the bridge that was put in, certainly in my lifetime. The one I used to come over was always over there, so that was put in at a later date. Walk up this hill. It does look very strange in the winter because all this normally all dense green bushes, and of course this time of year it isn't. Moon's out. It's still quite hard underfoot. Not quite sure how long that will last for, but we'll soon find out. So we're back to the standard setting, but this time with horizon levelling, whatever that means. I like to think it tries to stabilise it somewhat. I am giving it a bit of a wobble there. It is still quite hard underfoot. Now there was always two routes in when we were kids. There was a route there, which is kind of still there, and there was the lower one. We had the upper and the lower. So let's see what we can find. There's a lot of trees falling sadly, and that beck is a lot wider than I remember it. Wow. And I can see the path is so close now to the edge of the beck. And go back to the standard narrow setting with the leveling turned off. It's getting a little bit muddy now, but nothing that I can't dodge. It's very close to the edge of the water now, definitely. So we're coming to the first bit where you could sort of get out. And the last time I came here, this was all very overgrown to the point where this really wasn't an exit anymore, and it is now. It's kind of come back again. So you've got loads of little rabbit run routes, as you can see there. We're still on the lower level. As I say, we always said there was two levels in here. In reality there was a lot more than that. So this is the first exit, if you like, where we came in entrance. This is the first exit, and it's clear now. Now when I came before, all this was like really high, sort of 4-foot weed kind of things. And this is, whether someone's cleared it or whether it's just died off and sort of cleared itself, I'm not sure, but I'm so glad it's open again now. We used to ride through this dip here. So it's like a bit of a dip. So this is the upper level now. We used to come down this path. We used to do this little dip here and then jump off there, and if you can see, it's just slightly offset, so you had to kind of land and then turn immediately left. But already I can see that a lot of this is wearing away. This little hump, whatever it once was. Isn't really there anymore. So let's carry on. We're now back to standard 30 frames a second with the linear setting with the horizon leveling, which I think does tend to take a little bit of that shake out. It's quite good actually. That might be the setting for wandering around. Back to the lower level now. And there's one little route we used to take that's still there. Wow, it is very cold today. I wonder if you can set the screen to stay on, because it just turned off there, which is a bit annoying because you can't see what you're filming. That's about if you're riding a bike and you're not watching it, but obviously I'm kind of paying attention to what I'm filming because of the type of film I'm doing, so I could do with that screen staying on. So a note to self. Still not too bad underfoot. Good to see some of these tracks that you're talking 30 years ago that we rode. Sort of, they're still kind of there. Bits of them are still here. The lie of the land hasn't changed all that much. I mean, it has, obviously, as I said earlier. The beck is closer to the path is closer to the beck now, where a bit of it is washed away. And there used to be a little bit up here. You had a little route that you could jump off on your bike. Let's see if it's still there. You touch the screen, it comes back on again. Okay. So I'm not seeing that little route, it might have been down there. And there was a lower level here, which was a very low level. That I think this is it. It used to come through and you could ride lower and you could ride along and then back up again. Now that to me looks like it was probably there, because you used to sort of go through some trees. There's a big tree, so you used to go through there, down there and up to the other side, but obviously that's completely gone now. It's gone to the point where you can't ride it anymore. I'm just checking. There's that little route you used to jump off. There we go. So it is still there. There. And the screen is quite far away, so I must remember to get a little bit closer to things. Now here's where it forks off, so you can get the upper level up there. That takes you to the upper level, and this takes us to the lower level. So let's try the lower level first. Giving it a bit of a shake there, left and right. Seems to be coping quite well with that. Not quite as hard, the ground here. It does look like I've got mud on my shoes now. So I've seen, used to live up this way, and you can see a little bit of a dip there. And a couple of times lads used to build BMX like jumps in here. I mean, I was only in my sort of late 20s then, so I didn't really ride in here anymore, but I used to ride through here on the way to work because I lived on Baldoon Sands. I worked in the town, and it was quite a pleasant thing to sort of come smoking through here and get a little bit of air on the way. Yeah, touch the screen, it comes back on again. There's a bit of a lower level there, I suppose, which would be the second lower level. I don't really know. We always had the lower and the upper. We didn't have an extra low, apart from that little bit that I mentioned earlier. %69% of the battery. This is always good fun, because you can come flying through here. There's a little bit of a concrete block. I don't know if it was off a gate post or something that someone dumped here. There it is, still there. Just enough space to get a bit of a jump off it, but sadly the bushes have always got in your way. As you can see, this goes out to the field, and if you walk for it long enough, you start coming out on little side roads for Baldoon Sands. Football pitch, been there many years. As you can see, the sun is more or less setting. Okay, let's go back in. Let's try that horizon thing actually. Going left and right. Really, there you go. It takes an awful lot for it to actually lose the horizon line. So I think that is probably like an anti-shake thing, which might be useful for this type of task. Buggy here. I did a big step over some mud there, so it'll be interesting to see what the camera did. But this soft leveling thing seems to be working quite well. As I say, it does take a lot to get it to go off the angle. Screen's gone off again. There we go. It's obviously a power saving setting. I don't know if the screen on the front is on still. Yeah, it is. There you go, hi. So you do still have a lot of information on the front of the screen, from what I can see. Yeah, it's cool. Sadly, because I wasn't planning on doing this until the last minute, I haven't brought any gloves, so my hands are falling off. Anyone who knows these cameras will be thinking, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? But I've never had one before, so all my videos in the past have been done with mobile phones, and I've always been quite comfortable with them because my phones have had pretty good lenses. They've been, all the YouTube videos that I've done recently were all done in 4K on a Samsung Galaxy S22 and it did a really good job with them. Sadly, the package that I use to render them and edit them doesn't allow me to do 4K, so they end up coming out at 1080, but it's enough for YouTube in my opinion. So now we'll go up to the upper level. This is the lower level that we walked along, and you can see the bottom level there, and it just sort of goes off along that line there, and we are going to go up this bit now and up to the upper level. Again, the horizon leveling is doing really well. The telescopic stick, not the funny angled one, this is just a straight one. Again, I seem to think this is doing okay. It's doing a pretty decent job. It's a bit weird holding a stick rather than holding the full phone. More likely to look where you're going rather than looking through the screen. So this was a cross-country running route this when I was at school. We used to run, I think you used to run to the top here and through there. Might have even been this one here, I'm not sure. If you had jet screws on, you used to hide in these trees and just do a shortcut. We used to come up through here. This was the upper level on the bikes as well when we were kids, and we used to ride along here, and there was a little cut through that took us through to that little jump bit that I was talking about earlier. Let's see if it's still there. Right, what have we got coming up here? Must be quite close by because we're nearly at the exit. And it's quite close to the exit, isn't it? Is this it? This looks good. This looks good. Again, these little sort of routes have been here so many years. I don't know why nature hasn't claimed them back. I can only assume that people still walk or people still cycle them, I'm not sure. But I'm thankful that they're still here. And this is our little picnic point as well at times. We used to sit here and have a little bite to eat the sandwiches our mums had made us. Bear in mind we were only sort of 10 or 12 or something like that at the time. A bit younger actually. There we are, back again. So that was your little run up as well. You could come from that top end up there, and you could come running down here with a fast flow into there, and if you were lucky you didn't crash into that big tree and break your neck. Okay, so that's kind of as far as I got. I've had to abandon it as a bad job really. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I started putting this video together at 9 o'clock. Now for whatever reason it takes a ridiculously long time to get the footage from the camera onto my laptop. Now I've took the SIM card out, I've put it into my laptop, I've put the stuff from the card straight onto my laptop and then tried to upload it into Clipchamp, which is the editing software that I use, and it hates it. A 2-minute clip, which would normally take literally seconds to upload, is taking half an hour, and that's just not good enough. At times as well I managed to wait to get the clip uploaded into Clipchamp. I then click on the next one and it freezes the entire thing, so any editing that I've done was completely pointless because I lose it. Now looking online, it turns out that the footage that the GoPro records is quite of a high quality, good quality, and the files are big. I must admit, looking at the file sizes compared to the file sizes that my phone makes, which I'm talking to you on now, they're not that greatly different, but for whatever reason they take an awful long time to transfer. Now the solution apparently is to compress them down. So I've got VLC, I stuck it in VLC, I tried to compress a video which didn't particularly make it that much smaller. I tried to put it in Clipchamp, it did the exact same thing. I then found a video on my GoPro that was about 3 gig. It was quite a long one. It was a long section of the wooded area that I'd done, and I tried to convert that and it crashed at about 70% and it just couldn't cope with it. So I don't know what the solution is. I'm sure there is one somewhere. GoPros are very popular. There must be some sort of program or some sort of method that you use to get it to work, but I don't know what that is. So if you know, please do mention in the comments. As I say, the GoPros are very popular. We've seen footage from them for many years, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but whatever it is, it's wrong. The irony is, the whole reason I started using the GoPro was to speed up my download or upload times from my phone, because my phone was so populated with pictures and music and videos and all that sort of stuff that it would take me so long. And in actual fact, it takes me much longer to do it with the GoPro. So yeah, it's a bit of a non-starter really, which is a shame, because the footage that's been recorded seems to be of pretty good quality, and I must admit it was a little bit more pleasant of an experience to use that as a recording medium. But yeah, until I can get that sorted, I'm not really sure that it's the way that I'm going to go moving forward. So if you have any advice, if you can say, yeah, this is what you're doing wrong, or you need to use this program first, or whatever it may be. There's all sorts of conflicting advice on YouTube and on the internet in general in regards to using them and getting the footage into editing programs and things like that. So if you've experienced it firsthand, then please do let me know. But for now, I'll keep using this bad boy. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.